I know I'm gonna cut it for sure, right? Here, yes. Take your hair down. Oh my gosh. Rapunzel. Okay, well, you don't really need highlights yet. No. Well, let me detangle.
It's up to you.
This is a real live consultation because I did not consult yet. But, yeah, she has really long hair. And it's really curly, and I thought I might color it, but your highlights are pretty close to the root so far. Maybe as they grow out, maybe like end of summer we could do color again, but let me see. So just to describe her hair texture, it's like curly, like it's like the curls are pretty tight, but she also has a little bit of like coarseness to it, like just a touch, right? Like it's not super like smooth curly. It's like a little coarse. So this is a wet brush, by the way, that I'm using, which is like the best detangling brush, honestly, for anybody who wants to detangle their hair. But it sounds like I'm ripping her hair a little bit, but it's actually just the bristles that flex over a knot when it hits the knot, so it doesn't break the hair, damage the hair. And I feel like it's just easier on your hair, especially if you have a sensitive scalp like I do, or else if you have kids or whatever. Ooh, this is gonna be so fun. Can I just make a public service announcement? Okay, cutting your hair is so important. People just think that, people are scared to cut their hair because they're like, oh my gosh, it's gonna be short. But once you get over that fear and you get regular haircuts, I mean, your hair just is so healthy that it gets longer, because it's not that cutting hair makes your hair grow. Cutting your hair does not make your hair grow. It's just that if you're never cutting it, it's growing, then breaking at the end, growing, breaking, growing, breaking, so then it perpetually stays the same length. But you need to cut your hair, all right? And for those of you who are like, oh, I don't want a haircut, I just want a trim. A trim is a haircut. A trim just means that you're cutting this much versus, cutting her hair into a bob, which is what we're doing today. I'm just kidding. All jokes aside, all right. So, yeah, so we're gonna cut her hair today. This beautiful long hair. This is seriously like waist length, kind of. Okay, yeah. So what would you like to get out of your haircut? Well, how are you wearing your hair?
Well, since I have no layers, like I like the layers in the front that like frame my face, but I don't have any, so I literally wear it like this.
Okay.
Because that's the only way it won't be like super tangled if I brush it forward and then throw it back. And then it's puffy if I do that. And like.
Do you ever wear your hair down?
Yeah, I do.
So you wash it, wear it curly down?
Yeah.
And do you ever blow dry it or
no?
Make it straight?
I straighten it.
Like how often?
Like maybe once every 2 months.
Okay, like special occasion kind of thing.
Yeah.
All right, so the thing with curly hair is that you do need length for curly hair. Obviously, depending on what look you're going for. If you want short hair that's curly, that's fine. But I'm saying if you're kind of like a lower maintenance kind of person, you don't want to. If you want low maintenance, the longer your hair is, if it's curly, it's going to make your life easier. Unless you're the wash and go type who has really short hair, if that makes sense. Sometimes, people cut their hair short because they think it's going to make their life easier. But nothing's easier. If your hair is long, you could always just put it in a bun. You know what I mean? And so with curly hair especially, you also want to leave the layers pretty long because it helps to weigh the hair down in a good way. We're looking at the texture of her hair. So she has very curly hair, has a little bit of texture. She's a mixed girl like myself, right? Mm-hmm. so she got a little bit of that ethnic hair going on here. When you're cutting hair, you want to take in all kinds of factors: the hair type, the person's lifestyle, and everything like that. So So yeah, so from what I gather, she's pretty like lower maintenance. She washes and goes. She doesn't want to style her hair. She's not gonna blow her hair out. She's not gonna do all that stuff, but she wants shape. You need shape, okay? Shape is so important on top of health. So what we're gonna do today, what I want to do, we're gonna come to a happy medium because, and again, like I'm not scissor happy. I don't just like, you know, just cut hair. I'm an advocate for hair. Like hair, you know, it's okay to have long hair. It just needs to be good. Which your hair's already nice, it's already healthy, but it's kind of time for a haircut. So I'll probably cut an inch and a half, maybe 2 inches, absolutely maximum from the actual length. Okay, as far as the length, as far as the shape goes, curly hair as it grows into a triangle. Okay, when it's all one length like this, it's all one length, it doesn't have any shape cut into it. It's as it grows, it's gonna grow like this into triangle. All right, which is not necessarily flattering. Or it could just be so much more, right? So as you can see, it's pretty much all one length, so it's growing into that triangle shape. We'll just reshape the front, but I am gonna leave this pretty long. Maybe the shortest piece will be like here. I always like to leave a little bit of extra length for the fringe area. I try not to go too crazy, again, just because if you go too short with curly hair, then when it's wet and when you wear your hair curly, it's gonna be all like this, which is not the business unless you're going for the curly like bangs look, which is totally fine and beautiful. But are you going for that look today? Okay. I didn't think so. So another thing is, so I cut hair dry, which is not a common thing in the hair cutting world. I cut hair dry, whether your hair is straight, whether just 99% of the time I cut dry. And most of my clients have never had a dry haircut before, so they're like, oh, what are you doing? Like, I've never had this before or whatever. But the reason why you want to cut hair dry, especially for curly hair, is because when you wet curly hair, it's like so much longer. The hair is just different when your hair is wet, but especially with curly hair, it's so much longer. So you might cut it wet and then you blow dry it and it's like 5 inches shorter than you planned, and then you're mad, and then it's just not a good thing all around, right? So that's why I cut dry, but especially this is so important for curly hair. You always want to cut it dry, because cutting hair dry, you can see exactly where it's gonna lay. When your hair is dry, you know where the natural part is gonna fall. You know, I'm not wetting her hair and combing it and forcing it to go this way or whatever. I can see exactly where her natural cowlick is. I could basically see what the hair is gonna do when she leaves my salon and she's, you know, off on her own, and I'm not gonna be there to blow out and style her hair, and it's gonna be easy wash and go. So it's so important to cut hair, to cut curly hair dry, okay? So anyway, so that's what we're gonna do today. I'm gonna cut her hair, and then we're gonna shampoo, and then we're gonna do a nice blowout. Do you want your hair blown out today?
Sure.
Yeah, so then we're gonna do a nice blowout and curl hair and do all that stuff. And yeah, we're gonna get started. I'm making 2 by her ears, and then I'm leaving the back out because I'm going to start working on the back first. So I'm going to get the nape area of her hair part, section that out, and then clip the rest up. And now I'm going to begin to cut the length. I sectioned off the middle piece of the nape area, and then this is going to be the guideline for the rest of my haircut. So it's very, very, very important for the length of your haircut to be cut perfectly, and I'm checking to make sure it's all even, because this is going to set the tone for your entire haircut. So you want to spend a lot of time on this because it's so important. And I'm using tension here, but I'm not pulling the hair completely straight because I still wanted to have a little bit of that bounce and curl to it, because I want to know what it's going to do when I let the hair go, and I can see how long it's going to be. There aren't any surprises because I'm putting too much tension on the hair and then pulling it too straight and cutting too much off. So now I'm moving on to the next section. I'm pulling that down. You can see the tension that I'm using, and I'm just cutting those ends off that just need to be trimmed. And then just cut the length to match the back. See how it all lines up now. Now I'm moving toward her fringe area and around her edges, which is where we're going to create some face framing pieces, those pieces that we all love, those pieces that are going to look beautiful whether she wears her hair down or up or whatever. So grabbing that section, and then I'm cutting that at about a 45-degree angle. Look at her watching me cut her hair. She's like, you better not cut my hair too short. Look at her watching me. Anyway, so I'm grabbing the fringe area now. Fringe meaning where her bangs would be. And then I'm cutting that at about a 45-degree angle as well, palm to palm. And then I'm going to pull it up and over direct it. And I'm going to trim that again from that angle. And all that's going to do when I pull it back is you can see how it blends all together. There aren't any shelves. It's still nice and long, but I'm going to trim that piece again because I want it to be a little bit shorter. But see, when I pull it back to the rest of the section, it all blends. Look how pretty that is. Okay, so now I think I'm going to move to the next section and finish the other half the same way. Now we are going back to the back section, and I'm carving out a little piece like that, and there I'm holding it and seeing how long I want the layer to fall and where I want it to fall. Then I'm pulling it up. I'm going to show you guys here. I'm cutting off that piece, and that is her layer, her guideline. That is where her shortest layer will be. Okay, so now that I took that original guideline piece and cut it horizontally, now I'm taking vertical pieces like that and matching it all up to create some very, very long layers. Again, I'm leaving her layers very long. I don't want them too short, because when she leaves my salon and wears her hair curly, if her layers are too short, she is gonna look like she has a mullet or something like that, which is fine if you're going for the mullet look, which I don't think she is. I'm moving on to the next section of this whole back section where I'm creating shape. And as you can see, I'm combing her hair out a lot because her hair is really, really, really excessive curly, okay? I mean, it's not like super, super, super curly, but it's pretty curly and hard to comb through just natural. But again, you want to cut curly or natural hair natural because you want to see what it's going to do in its natural state, you know? Especially if you're the type of natural girl who never straightens their hair. Like, why are you going to go to the salon and have your hair straightened, then cut, and then, you know, it's just doing too much. So now I'm pulling the areas that are by her ear, and I'm pulling that back to match it with the back section of her hair. So that way the whole entire haircut, see, I'm combing it out, and I'm pulling that up, and then I am cutting the layer to that section, so that way the whole entire haircut is gonna blend and flow, which is so important. So now I'm just pulling her hair up because I'm gonna get it washed. Here I'm getting it blown out, and then after I blow it out, I'm gonna check her haircut one more time. Yas, girl. So this is her hair just blown out, okay? I don't mean to brag, but check out that blowout skill right there, okay? This is her hair just blown out. So now all I'm going to do is go back and essentially do the same haircut that I did. And so I'm pulling her layers up, checking them. I'm cutting them a little bit shorter there. So I'm probably like kind of cut like 4 inches or maybe even 5. Even though I told her to. But all I'm doing now that her hair is straightened, I can perfect the haircut and make sure all of the lines are matching up. Make sure it all flows, you know, because when the hair is curly, some pieces might be short, some pieces might be long. So this just ensures that her hair is going to look amazing when it's curly and when it's straight. And lastly, I'm just using my 1 1/4 inch Hot Tools Marcel curling iron that I love so much. Alright, so we just finished cutting Blue's hair, and this is the final result. I think I ended up cutting like 3 inches off the length, even though I planned to cut like 2, I think. But it's just because after I strained it and blow dried it and everything, it was just like so long. It was just, it wasn't just long, it was just like excessively long. So now it's still like pretty long, right?
Yeah.
This
really
is your
long.
waist?
No, well, my waist, well,
Kind of ish.
It's like the middle.
Okay, well, yeah, it's still kind of like long. But now it has a lot more shape. So this is how you cut curly hair. And then I did go back and cut it after I blow dried it and everything like that. Just so you can see it and perfect the haircut. But how do you feel about your hair?
I love it.
And don't lie.
I'm not lying. I was a little concerned at first, but
why?
I was just afraid it would be too short, but it's not. Like the layers look good and
yeah. So she's been going to the same hairdresser for like your whole life, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah. So.
But yeah, it looks good.
Yeah, it's always scary to cheat on your hairdresser, which is what you did today. But you know, luckily you're in good hands. So yeah, I think it came out beautiful. So that's it for today. Hope you guys loved this video. Hope it was informative. And if you guys have any video requests or anything like that, then leave it in the comments down below. Let me know how I can make these videos better, how I can improve. And then also, if you're in the Los Angeles area and you want to come help me film a video, because Blue, you watched my videos, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like dreams do come true. Yeah, so if you're from Los Angeles and you would like to come in and get your hair done, then go ahead and send me an email. I'll leave it in the information area down below. Leave me comments. I read all my comments. I try to reply to all my comments if it's a question, obviously. Oh yeah, follow me on Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, all that stuff. And then you guys will see me in my next video. Thank you for watching. Bye.